I'm Lenny Kama,
I'm Allison Kama.
and if we think about this journey that took us from this house to our next house and where it started, I would say the first part of the journey was just when we started to think about what stage of life we were in with our kids and how much fun we had living here and what we thought could be achieved with a move.
I'm blessed to have these people as my clients. They are truly the world's greatest. Lenny called me one day and said, hey, we're thinking we might want to move. We're not really sure where or when, but we would consider it. I thought that was strange because I couldn't imagine anyone wanting to leave this beautiful home. But anyhow, I figured I would just kind of process, put it in the back of my mind, and see what came of it.
But we also have this affection for Ginny. And so when we think about our moves and what's going on with our lives, we kind of trusted to share with her those thoughts because we knew that she would never sell us on anything. And you know, where we left the conversation was just to say, hey, if at any time someone became interested in the house, because we're not going to list it, if you found a client that you thought, or you knew a person who knew a person who knew a person that thought, wow, I know someone who might actually sell a house like that one day, would you like to see it? We just left it by saying, knock on the door.
This is where I come in. I actually sold my 102 house in La Costa Valley, and this was a couple that had lived there for 15 years. Their children had recently moved to Vista to go to school here, and they called me as far as selling their house. No problem. So we put the house into escrow, at which point I said, well, where are you going? And, oh, well, we're looking at a few houses, but we haven't locked into something. So I said, well, tell me your wish list. And I had them itemize the actual wish list. And great, got it, everything. I said, well, it's quite a bit, you know, with the home office and this for that and for the kids, but we'll make it happen. Hang up the phone, call my team, put the network at work was the whole my intention. And the first one I'm going to call is the gals on my team and say, listen, this is my wish list. I'm sending it over and see what you can do. And I got a call within an hour. It was Ginny.
My name is Steve and
Jennifer Sedla.
And let's talk about that wish list. It was pretty much, I think, your wish list because I introduced or actually found Eileen and tried to kind of vet her based upon, you know, calling realtors, and you know, she clearly was, you know, the most knowledgeable about the Costa Valley where we currently live. But I think the wish list and some of the details clearly were Jennifer's doing.
And at 6 a.m., I think I sent her my wish list of what would I want in a home. And there were really only 4 must-haves. And I had 4 must-haves of, we need 2 offices, one that's very private for my husband who right now works by a laundry room and the front door with the dog barking and the kids yelling, and he just needs more privacy and quiet for his office. And we needed 4 bedrooms, and we wanted a pool, and that was about it. We really, you know, didn't have any, you know, that many must-haves, but we had a lot of wish lists too of we wanted a place for our kids to be able to hang out now that they're teenagers and be able to have their friends over. And so I sent over this wish list to Eileen, and she said, great, thank you. And by 5 o'clock that afternoon, she said, you're not gonna believe this. And she said, I'm not even telling you the story. Just meet me at this gate tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
She says, hey, I've got a client looking for X, Y, and Z in Vista. And I had to take a double take. I looked at my phone again, and as I went down the list of all of the things that her client was hoping for, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is exactly Lenny's house. And so much to the point where I was a little nervous, like, what if they don't really want to move, you know, because I had just kind of put it out there, but didn't really know, you know, if they were serious, because I didn't have a listing. It was, anyhow, so I called Lenny and I said, you know, when you called me last week, were you serious about this? And he says, well, for the right buyer, yeah, maybe. I said, well, where would you go? He goes, I don't know, let's take a look. I said, okay, can we bring the clients over tomorrow just to see if they're really interested before we get too far into this? Because we're just testing the waters. And of course, he said, of course.
And we didn't expect that to happen for years, but it happened 2 weeks later.
Well, it made it easier because you trusted Ginny. You knew that although I love this home, I knew she was going to find me something that I was going to love even more. I knew she was going to work until we got there. We did.
Yeah, and I think that's actually what made us have such a loyalty to her.
And here we came in and we looked at this beautiful home that we're sitting in right now, and we actually thought that we couldn't afford it. We walked through and we thought, you know, this is lovely. Thank you very much for showing us, but now can we go look at the ones we can afford? And she said, no, these are less than the other ones you're looking at, and you know, it's comparable to your sale price, so you really can afford this.
But
And
most
so
importantly, it covered all the wish lists. Even the houses that
It
were
was-
more expensive that we were looking at didn't have, everything we wanted.
right.
So it turned out to be a happily ever after house for everyone. With yours in Carlsbad, mine in Vista, but I'm sure both of them will make it their forever house.